One time there were two Gandharvas, celestial beings, who are having a debate on who is stronger. Vasuki, who is the snake carrier of Lord Vishnu, or Vayu, the wind god. The Gandharva that supported Vasuki, he said, Vasuki is always chosen by Lord Vishnu to do the most powerful things, therefore he is more stronger. And the Gandharva that chose Vayu, he said, Vayu is much more powerful and more prominent all over the world, and his power cannot be resisted by anyone. Overhearing this conversation was the omnipresent Vayu, and his ego was flared up, and he said, I'll take up this challenge. Get Vasuki here and I'll prove that I'm stronger than Vasuki. Eventually, both of them appeared in front of each other. Vayu, the wind god, and Vasuki, the celestial serpent. And in their quest to prove their superiority, they chose a test to decide who is better out of the two. And the test they chose was that Vasuki would coil around Mount Meru, and Vayu, the wind god, had to blow him off the mountain. And if Vasuki remained on the mountain in spite of the power of Vayu, he is more superior. And if Vayu managed to blow him off, he is more superior. The test began, and Vasuki caught the Meru mountain in a deathly grip, intensely tight, and Vayu was blowing like a raging wind. The funny part was, in their tests, in their desire to prove their superiority, they forgot to take permission of Mount Meru, the one they were using, whose body they were using. Many times in life, one becomes very insensitive to one's surroundings when one has a great desire to prove one's superiority over others. Vasuki and Vayu were trying to prove who is better, but they did not think about the pains of Mount Meru. Mount Meru was going through excruciating pain because Vayu was blowing on one end and Vasuki's grip was deadly on the other end. Meru, the mountain, he started praying to Lord Brahma for mercy, for being rescued from this maddening competition. In life, that's how competition is. When two people compete with each other, trying to prove their superiority, there is a third person who is absolutely innocent and uninvolved in their competition who has to suffer. Squeezed between two powers. How do you deal with such a situation? The way the mountain dealt was got a wise person into the picture. Brahmaji came and told Vasuki and Vayu that both their strengths are unsurmountable. Rather than trying to compete and show who is better, Brahmaji advised them to cooperate together for serving society, doing something positive for the world. And when Vasuki and Vayu heard the advice of Brahma, they both realized their mistake, begged forgiveness from Mount Meru, and they called off the fight. But in the middle of the whole process, because Vasuki had gripped Mount Meru so tightly, when he left the mountain, a huge chunk of the mountain fell off into the ocean. And that chunk of the mountain was a piece of island which eventually came to be known as Lanka. Vishwakarma built the entire Lanka city on that piece of chunk. But more interestingly than that, the attitude of Lanka, the attitude of the residents of Lanka eventually, under the kingship of Ravan, carried on the same spirit of competition which was the cause of the forming of Lanka. Lanka became a city where everyone strived to prove that they are better than others. No matter how much inconvenience others had to go through, no matter how much torture others had to go through, but I need to get what I need to get. That was the formation of Lanka.